Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. I'm back, baby. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread.
It's so cold in Big D! Oh!
Bro.
It's awful out there.
Took me a while to get that one out. I am fully engaged and cold. I still have that chill from walking across the street. I parked one spot further forward today, and I was colder walking across the road.
I'm right behind you, D-Mac. Of course, I post the forecast on my Instagram story, and my boy Anton, shout out Anton, that lives in California, he's a music producer. He texted me, he's like, damn, that must suck, bro. He's like, come down and see me whenever you want. I was like, yeah, bro, awesome. Like, after football season, we can talk, but it sucks right now. He's like, yeah, whatever.
We got playoff games this Sunday, baby.
Yeah. Absolutely, we do. We're going to get into it. And look, like usually we would sit here and slap it up, but I'm happy to be back. We had some travel issues coming back from Washington.
Stuck in a foreign land.
Stuck in a foreign land, a.k.a. Washington, D.C., the capital of the nation. But, you know.
How did you survive?
Well, D-Mac, you know me, right? Like, I can get through adversity of any kind of travel adversity, personal adversity. I'm built for anything as long as there's a Ritz-Carlton 15 minutes away. Then I'm fine. Then I'm fine.
Fair enough. I mentioned to you before the show, my favorite part is your post of, unfortunately having to stay over and ended up at the Ritz-Carlton and stuff. But with every piston in the lobby checking in.
Yeah, here's kind of a cool story.
5 a.m.
Yeah, so we, Monday we play, get the road win, by the way. I'm 500 on the year. So we play, we go to the airport per usual. We're sitting there on the runway. They got a bad snowstorm kicking there. That started when the game started, and it got a lot worse than anybody ever thought, including the airline people, all of it. So it was snowing pretty good. They ended up getting about 6 inches of snow in about 4 hours. And so we were sitting on the runway, and it's snowing so hard that they can't get the plane de-iced for long enough. Like they de-ice the plane, you have about 8 minutes before it ices back up again. But we don't have enough time because it's snowing too hard. And so we're sitting there waiting for it to break. We sit on the plane for about 3-4 hours. And then they're like, we can't get out tonight. So, we have to scramble. So we go to the hotel. We check into the hotel, and there's 60 of us checking in. The whole team, all the support staff, all of us. We all check in, and there happens to be a guy from Michigan that was checking in front of us. And all of us are there, like Cade Cunningham, everybody. He turns around and he goes, "Oh, the Pistons are here. This is awesome. Where's George Blaha at? Can I get a picture with him?" That was the first dude that he wanted a picture with, was George Blaha. Not Cade Cunningham, NBA, soon-to-be NBA All-Star. Jalen Darren, who almost had a 2020 game. George Blaha. Can I get my picture with George? That was awesome.
No, that was. And the fact that I said to you, low-key, the fact that you watched the first Lions win in 31 years with George Blaha.
I did.
To me, that's a flex. That's Neal flexing right there a little bit.
I didn't even think about it at the time, too. It wasn't until like later where I was like, I just watched the Lions playoff victory, and George was locked in about it. We were going to watch that game. There was never a doubt. So all in all, pretty cool work weekend. Oakland won in Indy on Saturday, and then went to D.C. and obviously the Lions won. I got to watch that with George, and then the Pistons won too. So that was a very, very cool
Neal, is
weekend.
This true? Michael Lucci says, in quotes, "I was told we were supposed to leave 4 hours ago." Neal to the pilot.
Probably,
yes.
Yeah. I walked right up to him. I went to Troy Weaver and everybody. I was told we were leaving 4 hours ago. Like, what's going on here? I got schedules to keep here. No, but shout out to everybody here at Woodward. I sent the text about 1 a.m., so I know that put people in the pressure cooker. So thanks for everybody for handling that.
Shep came in straight from the gym, filled in.
Yeah, so appreciate that. But yeah, so it's incredible. It's still buzzing a little bit, and I know it's not as timely now because I didn't have a chance to be here for it, and the whole thing. FJ 1967, Oakland tonight versus Youngstown. Let's go. Hey, ESPN Plus, tap in. First place, Golden Grizzlies. But when I show up in 2024 and call your game, you win.
That's pretty much what it is. 2024, the year of the Ruhl.
Yeah, if I call your game in 2024, you don't know. You better tell your people. Spenny.
Yeah, for real.
Tell your peoples. Drop the bag and I'll be there.
Yeah, I will.
Well, I know you preface it, Neal, with that, the luster's sort of gone. Everybody said their 2 cents because it had Sunday, but I think everybody's waiting to hear what you have to say. Like seriously, I am, just because we've waited for so long, and this is a different situation, and we all experienced it differently. We went over yesterday, the mood of the live stream here. Spenny and I, along with Booner.
I was tapped in.
Jack Labrador, guys, what a spread they put on. But I mentioned this on the way out to Pete yesterday as he was in here doing all the changes for the final word. The fact that I'm proud of our guys, Neal, because what I've seen in this room is the maturation of how to watch and sort of expectations of this team. I didn't see guys, giving up all those yards to Nakua or the passing, and guys melting down like I'd seen it earlier in the year. I was very proud of the maturation of the viewing party. They acted like they belonged there.
I'll tell you what, it would have been hard for me to kind of be upset. Like I was in very, very good spirits. I'll say it that way. I forget how I put it on heavyweights. I had some fungi chocolates to start my day, and then went to the tailgate and had a lot of drinks, a lot of liquidation, and then came back here and at the post game show, me and Stick were lighting up victory cigars left and right. It was a great day. It was a great day. I was fully torqued.
I bet.
Not half torqued, fully torqued.
I bet. But yeah, I do want to take the open, and I do want to kind of give my thoughts, and we'll move it. Like, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but it was more emotional than I thought. And the spot we were at in Washington, D.C., of course, there were a couple Amon-Ra St. Brown's jersey. There was a couple there. One had a St. Brown jersey on. His girlfriend or whoever had a Red Wings jersey on. The fans were everywhere, man. They were absolutely everywhere. And at the end, and look, I did a transformation, right, D-Mac, like through the season with the whole Stoke not scared thing. I was convinced that they were beating the Rams. Convinced of it. During the game took off exactly how I wanted it to take off. And there are a couple of angles on it. Number one, the Lions defense that everybody hates, right? That Puka Nacua got 200. Guys, this is the NFL playoffs. That shit doesn't matter. Nope. I saw all the tweets about it and everything like that. Don't care. Why don't you care, Neal? They were getting field goals. Field goals on the road in the NFL playoffs get you beat. Field goals, period, in the NFL playoffs. They get you beat. And what happened? The Rams kicked all those field goals. They had more field goals than touchdowns, and they're going home. And they went home. That's how this works. Everything shrinks. Everything shrinks. And the whole time I was there, the game flow was exactly what it needed to be for the Detroit Lions to win. And on a couple of fronts here. Number one, the defense is good enough, everybody. They're good enough to win. They won again. Number two, the Dan Campbell thing. What did I tell you guys? And I got a couple of messages on social media, an Instagram message and everything like that. What did I tell you guys? Dan Campbell versus Sean McVay, that was a clock win, Spenny. That was a possession win.
Yeah.
That was a 4th and goal. We're going for it. We're getting in the tutty. That was a 3rd down and 8 in a 2-minute drill. We're going to throw the pass here. We're getting a 1st down, and we're winning. That was a coach game. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That was a Dan Campbell win. And we don't see it that way because we're not trained to think like that, because we haven't been good in a long time. So we're not trained to think like that. That's why they won that game. And Jared Goff was perfect. He was perfect. And I know later on we're going to talk about the graphic stat where, when he wasn't under pressure, he was 22 for 22. You said, what do you mean, Neal? Look at what Matt Stafford was doing. Jared Goff was perfect. He was perfect in the game. The biggest throws in the biggest moments of this franchise's history in the last 30 years. The 2 biggest throws. 4th down and goal. Boom, Laporta. Perfect.
And did you hear Jared Goff break that play down where it was he was asked, was the play 4th and 1 always to the 3 guys aside? It was always to Laporta. But, and this is the thing that when you listen, he said, but he had to adjust at the end of the route or whatever, and he did something that he had to adjust early to break it off. But the fact that just tells me they're on the same page. Same thing with we're doing things that winning football teams and great football teams do, right? I sat here and said, I'm not the football guy, but I hear you have a 2-minute offense and a 4-minute offense. This is where you have the 4-minute offense, right? And Spenny, did I not say there was something earlier, but those 2 timeouts, the fact that they had to burn one early in the third, and then there was a sus call or somebody in the stream was upset because there wasn't a flag or something, but they burned another timeout. And I said, whoa, wait a sec. They're still third down. This is good. They only have 1 timeout left. What ended up happening? They only had 1 timeout left.
It cost them the game.
It cost them the game. And here's the thing. Look at the aggressiveness, right? Coming out of the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 9. Right, Ben Johnson says to Jared Goff, we're going to stay aggressive. And what are we going to do? Me and Amon-Ra St. Brown have thrown that pass 1,000 times.
And we're going to run the biggest play in this franchise's history.
That he's just got to beat the nickel safety or whatever. And the question was asked, well, when do you know which way he's going to break off? He says, we do it so much that I know exactly when he's going out there. When I step back, it was done. And that's the confidence in the things when it needs to be done. The one bad play, and they got away with it, was when he was under pressure, scrambled, and he threw the ball laterally that the offensive line, right? That's the one play, and I'm sure that they're going to say we can't do that because they didn't turn the ball over. They were successful. It came down to
in the
that
NFL
last
playoffs,
possession.
D-Mac.
Dan Campbell deserves everything because the questions about can he coach in this league, can he improve? He's not going to win Coach of the Year, but is he most improved coach? I know what's going on in Cleveland, 5 quarterbacks and that's coaching. But as far as him individually, decisions and the coaching staff or whatever, Dan Campbell was a big part of why they won that game.
D-Mac, he's elite. He's an elite coach in today's day and age. Now, I know he does I work out and I got the big lats and he looks like a comic book character and all that kind of stuff. A, he knows more than he lets on. But B, he's elite in today's game that is possession-based. It's possession-based. It's analytically driven. Field goals and 4th downs. That's NFL football today. We're not trained in it. We're not trained in it to fully comprehend it. But that is NFL football today. And flipping possessions. He's elite. And we saw it. And Jake Wagner brings up a beautiful point right here. And I had written this down to talk about
Pretty good for a guy who has no hockey rig.
Jake Wagner says, Dan Campbell taking the penalty on the 4th down, taking the penalty instead of declining it and setting up a 4th down, knowing that with a stop, McVay would go the conservative route on the 3rd and long. And remember that. And he did. And Jake, you're 100% correct. It's a poker game for these guys. And he knows the tells. He knows what Sean McVay was going to do. It was a coaching clinic by Dan Campbell. And it's okay to say that, because it was.
Mm-hmm. It was. And I think you nailed it, too. Did that game not play out the way that you thought it would be?
1,000,000%.
You knew it was going to be a 1-possession, 1-score game. Stafford and the wide receivers, it was either Kupp or Nakua. One of them was going to go off. Just like this weekend, you got to be prepared for either Evans or Godwin to go off. But the object of the game, Neal, in today's NFL is bend but don't break. If you can hold your opponents to field goals, you got a great chance to win in this game.
Okay, and I'm wrong. This is going to go one more segment because Adese 411 brought something up, because we're going to talk about that next when we come back. Tell them about Dispo, D-Mac.
Absolutely. Start the year lifted. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals. Experience Dispo Dispensary, a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere mixed with fresh variety from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals, same plug. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
The Detroit Lions have won a playoff game. What does that mean? Another tailgate party. Join us for the Ultimate Lions VIP tailgate this Sunday, hosted by Bullseye Event Group and sponsored by Spenny's favorite. How many did you have the other day?
At least 5.
At least 5 long drinks. You can too. All you can eat drinks, music, excitement. Let's roar together down at Eastern Market. Where's Spenny?
Shed number 5.
Shed number 5. Bullseye's now offering a Lions ticket and tailgate ticket combo. OMG, you might want to get on that. How do you do it? BullseyeEventGroup.com. Get your tickets today.
I'll tell you what, I did have quite a few of the long drinks, but they had these Kettle One frozen strawberry lemonades. Oh man, I put down like 10 of those. Those were so good.
Of course.
Those were great.
We are off and running here. Big D Energy back at it. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, here you go, Dak.
We do have an RIP segment coming up.
I have to give my RIP. I missed it, so I'm going to get to it.
No, we haven't done it yet.
We saved the segment.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, bless your guys' heart.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it without you.
Oh,
so
there it was. I missed it.
Yeah.
We're all no. Hey, listen, we can't do it without Paul Bear.
Yeah,
that is true.
I mean, it just doesn't. Then it's just like it's just that fake Undertaker.
Yep.
We don't do the fake taker.
We got back to back.
We do the real ish around here.
We got back to back gimmicks. We're like a regular morning Woodward show here. Rest in peace. Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 numbers, by the way.
Top 5 numbers today.
Did you send the top 5 list to Lance yet?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
All right. Everybody, we're on point here. Right. We're on point. I did. But no, I do want to talk about this too. And this might make some people sad, and maybe this makes me bad at my job. I'm guessing it probably does make me bad at my job. But here we go with this. A D's 411. 3 more years, $48 million. 3 more, $48 million for Goff. 144 if he gets Super Bowl. 3 more years, $50 million, $150 million if they win the Super Bowl. A D's 411. Here's my proclamation that I'm making on the Jared Goff situation. And Spenny, you have the graphic.
Yes.
You and I put you on the spot there. I apologize for that. That's not being good for me. But everybody, as I said last segment, Jared Goff played perfect. He played a perfect game. When he wasn't pressured, 22 of 22. Perfect. You can't be better than that. So the most attempts without an incompletion in the playoffs since ESPN began tracking pressures in 2009. And here's my point with it. And the D's 411, I'm done. I'm done talking about Goff's contract. I'm done talking about it. I will report it when it comes on. And maybe this is a bad host by me. Maybe this is me leaving meat on the bone or clicks on the table or something like that. But I've always told you guys this. I'm 100% honest with you. I don't say shit just to say it. I don't say it so you get outraged or I get clicks or anything like that. Here's the deal. I'm done talking about the Goff contract because here's why. Brad Holmes, who built this team in 3 drafts, he brought Goff here. Did he not?
He did.
And he was compensated a first-round pick to do it. He brought him here. He foresaw this. He knew this. So guess what? Whatever Brad Holmes says, I'm cool with.
Yep.
And you are too.
Yep.
You are too. Whatever he says, whatever the number is, whatever it is, you are too. And for the Easies and the people like that of the world that want to flip out about it, if the number, and Spenny, you too, if the number starts with the 5, so what? Because for everyone that says, well, you can't build a team without a quarterback on a rookie contract. Yeah, you know who you can build it with? An offensive tackle on a rookie contract and a wide receiver on a rookie contract. And that's what they have, and that's what Brad Holmes can do. Because I think he's earned this right here to say, you know what? In April, when they're here in downtown Detroit, by the way, and Chef Holmes has 4 picks to cook with in the first 3 rounds, guess what he can do, everybody? He can go right back to the podium and go get more. And he's shown he can. He flipped the franchise in 3 years, flipped it completely. May have gotten 2 gold jackets in his first draft. So he has impunity. Put the statue on the top of the Rensen where he's lording over like the statue in Brazil, and let's go. I'm done talking about the Goff thing. I heard other stations talking about it and stuff like that. I'm done, D-Mac. No more. There will be no more discussion because whatever Brad Holmes says is the word.
Right, and Goff's his guy. He brought him
That's
here.
it.
He proved it. And if you don't, go watch Dan Campbell's game ball speeches. Said a whole bunch of great stuff about Brad Holmes bringing it here. Went on for about a minute, threw him the ball, and then all he said, the other ball. I'm paraphrasing it, but pretty much, you could be quarterback in this city, right? And threw Goff the other game ball, which to me means he ain't going anywhere. The only question is what I asked Spenny or anybody else about giving Goff 50. It's you're worried about the contracts and you don't want to lose the guys that you have. Neal, when you show me that stat. If I'm Brad Holmes, the object is to keep Jared Goff protected and clean and not touched. Because if he's going to do stuff like this, which I think is more of the norm consistently, if he's got time, space, and is dictating, then he's going to execute, right? When you get him scrambling around or you get pressure on him, right, which is going to happen a few times, you just got to make sure that he takes care of the ball, throws it away, does whatever, things like that. His maturation as a leader has improved this year, hasn't it? And his resiliency to not listen to the noise has been also to why you want him as your quarterback.
And D-Mac, I'm going to lean on you to complete this thought for me right here. But Dad with Tourette's, he is the product of 2 elite play callers, period. It's funny how the play callers for him are elite, right? It's funny how that works itself out. I'd still rather go into 24-25 with Hendon Hooker, sight unseen. Okay, that's stupid, all right? Because here's the deal. Dad with Tourette's, here's what you people don't understand. Here's what you don't understand. And because it's not in fantasy football and it doesn't count for your little box score when you're looking at your fantasy team. D-Mac, those guys in that locker room would lay down in front of a train for him. Would they not?
Amen. Amen.
And yes, tell him the value of that. You
lay
lived
down
it.
for everybody. What do I always say? You know what we're seeing? We're seeing exactly what I told you we're seeing. When the guy next to you, no matter if it's a coach, a player, or whatever, is more important to you than you are to yourself. Everybody in that organization, from the top down, from Sheila down, is living that. So there's something about yes, there is a factor about Ben Johnson or whatever like that, but it's not as big as going out there and execute. You can have the best play caller. We see this all around the NFL and guys not executing. Yes, there is a camaraderie. Yes, they've helped each other out. But to me, it's more of Jared Goff's execution and him handling the offense. Do we not hear all the time that Jared Goff has the full keys in command? Right, of what goes on in this offense? Mm-hmm. Do you not see that? I don't see like he was when he was with LA, where what was the thing? McVay's in his headset, and the minute 15 seconds go, he can't adjust, right? It was all McVay. Now it's all, no. What's the common denominator for both these great play calls? Is the quarterback. So obviously you got to give him some credit. And the fact is that, like, you don't understand. Neal, you nailed it, right? He is, for lack of a better term, their Iserman.
Yes.
Right? He is their Iserman. And you know to this day that all of us that played with Steve or under Steve or whatever, if he called today to go through a wall,
you jump in front of a bus for him. You jump in front of a bus for him.
I got a shift left if that's what he needs me for. If he needs me to shovel his driveway because, you know, the kids are whatever he needs. That's the way that's, and I feel that love in that room of everybody. There is a small little thing that I don't know if you saw. And Spenny, this is our guy, Jake McQuaid, the long snapper, because what do we always notice? downfield, special teams, or whatever. What's he doing? Pulling guys off. He's always sticking up. He came from LA too. There was an embrace on the sideline after the game where you could see that these guys, the long snapper and Jared Goff, who came from LA, are boys too. It doesn't matter who you are in this organization. And how much money is that worth, Neal? How much money is the fact that everybody will put it on the line for their leader and their cat? That's worth something.
And you know what too? And I don't normally do this because no one likes the bag more than I do. And I'll never begrudge somebody for getting every dollar that they can get because every play can be their last. But something tells me that with Jared Goff, and I don't have any knowledge of this. This is just me spitballing right now. I'm paid to give my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion right now. Something tells me that deep down that, yes, the team takes care of Jared Goff. No doubt about it. And I do think that Jared Goff will take care of the team to some degree as well.
Yeah,
I feel that. I do. Maybe I'm wrong, and I won't. And if it's not that way, I will not begrudge him. I will not. But that's just something that I think, D-Mac. He seems that way.
And that's what you need also, too, right? With what we see around the league, whether it's Patrick Mahomes or whatever else. Yes, team-friendly. And the conversation, do you not think the conversation between Brad Holmes is what his plans are moving forward? I think that Jared Goff is in these meetings, right? It is, okay, this is what do we need? What do we got to do? We're going to do this. I think that the communication there, and when it comes to that, is to build this. They're all in it together. And that goes financially. I got a feeling like Goff he knows he's going to get taken care of. Right? He knows he's going to get his money. How does he keep the team around? How does he keep the team available? And it's like I said to Spenny. I go, Spenny, are you upset that Jared Goff gets $50 million if you get to keep everybody that you want? You don't lose anybody. And Spenny, what do you say?
Nope.
Yeah, cool.
Works for
Give
me.
him 50. It's because you're afraid to lose somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so this will be the last one. So Dad with Tourette's. Goff led the league in dropped interceptions last year and was 5th this season. The stats tell us when Goff is under pressure, he's one of the worst QBs in the NFL versus said pressure. Dad with Tourette's, did you enjoy the game on Sunday night? Did you like winning? Do you like having division championship hats and playoff wins? We're done. We're done with this, man. It's over.
I got an idea, Neal. The self-awareness to everything to Brad Holmes, everybody else, right? The object is, let's keep Goff protected and make it call so that they can't get pressure or do anything like that. That's the beauty of the game. So now, right, here's the thing. Nick Lidstrom's our greatest defenseman. I ain't going to let him get hit or run or whatever like this ever, which wasn't up to me because you can't hit him anyways. But the whole thing is that you're going to keep him clean. And the cleaner that the big guys are kept, right? The minute that somebody starts getting frivolous with them, you're going to deter that. That's the whole thing in keeping Jared Goff clean.
And I said it on Twitter after the game. I said it on the mic a couple times yesterday. You'll never hear me say anything bad about Goff again. He won my favorite sports team, a division championship, and a playoff game. I have my beliefs. I have the number. Those are both well documented, well known. I'll never put dirt on the guy's name again.
And that's fair. And you've always been
because you're closer to the tattoo than you are away from it.
I'm telling you, yeah. I'll be the happiest man alive getting those tattoos.
We are live streaming that.
Oh, for sure.
Million.
Somebody can come in and do that, right?
That'll be a live stream.
Yeah.
Live stream
and they could do it
special.
while you're running the show, right?
Yeah,
or no?
probably.
All right, we're a little ways away.
We'll have a thing set up right here,
chair.
right on the chair. We'll somebody else TD, but we'll get you in the big chair, right?
Yep.
2-hour program. You can get the 16 done, maybe even through the grit.
Oh, I can get.
And then you know what? The Dan Campbell calf tattoo.
Inner thigh.
Take a little bit longer.
Looking up.
Not inner thigh.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that changed. All right, I'm sorry about that. There was something I was gonna bring up to you, Spenny, but I forgot. So whatever. We're late for the break anyway. So tell them about Guardian, D-Man.
Absolutely, guys. The new year, Guardian Alarm, they're always there. Let them offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automated solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call Guardian today. The number 1-800. 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technologies that have been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Business, pleasure, Guardian don't care. They just want you to call so they can protect your stuff. Give them a call today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the backfield. Vita Vea and Adam Baydoun's boyfriend, Kalijah Cansey.
Stay out of the end zone, Mike Evans. Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell them, Big D Energy, we sent you.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Neal Ruhl here for Fairway Packing. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company's provided the finest restaurants, casinos, hotels with the finest beef in all the land. The prime beef, the dry-aged beef, the Wagyu beef. Guess what? If you've eaten a good steak dinner anywhere here in the Metro Detroit area, it's probably come from Fairway Packing Company because they have the best beef ever of all time. I did it myself from the Grab and Go Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Got a couple of ribeyes, brought them home, seasoned them up, threw them on the grill. The greatest ribeye, the greatest steak I've ever made myself in my life. Guys, if you're serious about grilling, go to Fairway Packing Company. Go to the Grab and Go Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. I'm telling you, because you're not serious about grilling if you're not getting the best meat in all the land, and that is Fairway Packing Company. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter. The boys are back. Happy to be back from Washington, D.C. Took a minute, but eventually we got back here. But we're talking Detroit Lions, and I was kind of offering up my take on everything. I know it's a little late, and we're going to get to the Lions-Buck stuff, certainly. And there are some concerns I have with the Bucks, and it does come into play. And we talked about the pressure numbers, and that's become a talking point. And Spenny, I lean on you for this because you were always fair about it. That's the difference with you.
Yeah.
With some of the people in the chat, with your co-host, Woodward Heavyweights, 5 to 7 on Woodward Sports,
Check
easy. You're reasonable. You'll listen.
We had Joey Harrington on yesterday. I think we haven't heard him more.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a great interview. Fantastic interview.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, we had him on the phone because he was watching the kids. Great interview. We talked about the game and golf and stuff like that.
His tweet was pretty cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Pretty cool.
We had him on earlier in the year, and he was telling us, relax on golf. And he was right. And I think we're having Herman Moore on today. And
Did he play the piano for you guys?
He did not.
Damn. I would have. Yeah. Dude, how cool would that have been? They pull it up, and now on Woodward Heavyweights, Joey Harrington, and he comes in with the piano.
I played the piano. I took piano lessons growing up.
You're a Renaissance man.
Yeah, I can play Beethoven's Ninth.
You know what? Spenny Raxter. You know why I like Spenny Raxter so much? Here's why. Here's why I vibe with them. Because Spenny Raxter is kind of a Tupac guy. How do you want it? You want to drink some scotch?
Yep.
You want to sit there by the fire and drink some scotch?
Yeah, you bring that up, and you know what you say? How do you want it? That's the logo for the Pillars. My tag team is how do you want it? We'll play it any way you want.
Yeah. And that's
play in the blood. You want to play in the tables. You just want to have a ha-ha, laugh it up.
And Spenny's the same way because you can have scotch by the fire with them. Mm-hmm. You can talk about swimming with them. You
44-3 all-time record.
You can do that. He can be very refined. He can get in a street brawl in Royal Oak at 1:22 a.m. and have the police called and then run away.
I'm a man of many talents.
You are, man.
Shout out to Morak Speaks. Sub on YouTube.
That's anime. He's your guy. It's wild. But yeah, it certainly you can do anything, Spenny, and I love it, man.
Appreciate that.
I absolutely love it. But no, just kind of wrapping up the thoughts on the game and the emotion too. I'm sitting there watching it with George freaking Blaha.
How was he during that?
Spartan
like
dog.
as his
Spartan
emotion,
dog.
because he's seen more Lions games than we have. But I mean, was he? How was his ebb and flow?
He was a little more scared than stoked at times, but I tried to reassure him. I was like, George, look at the possession. Look at the possessions, George. Everything's fine. They were never in a position to be down 2 scores, and that's the key of a football game. Now, they were never trailing. They were never in a position to be down 2 scores, and that's the concern. You always want to control your fate, right? You always want to be guaranteed to be getting the ball with a chance to take the lead, no matter what. And if you're doing that, you played a good football game, and that's what it was. Now, they were ultimately always in the lead, and you know what? I have to have my moment too that's similar to Spenny and similar to the golf haters, except for Dad with Tourette's and the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You know who I have to have my moment with? And it's low key, and it's something where I really have to say that I'm doing the kind of my Jared Goff thing. That's with the Badger.
Yeah, you could ask D-Mac, ask the guys at the watch party. They were like, "Oh, we got to go for it here. You got to go for it here." I was like, "No, bring him out. Let him kick it." I had the utmost confidence he was going to knock it down.
I did too.
Hey,
I just believed in my heart he was going to make it.
Hey, that was the D-Mac scoring the goal in '97 when the kid said, and when Darren McCarty scored that goal, I knew we had to win.
Mm-hmm.
When Michael Bagley hit that 52-yarder, we were looking around going, "You believe in karma? That's good karma." And to that point, Neal, right? Goes back to your coaching, right? For Dan Campbell at that moment to pull back and know that, hey, I got the confidence, but we're going to go for 3 here, right? Which is that's stepping off the gas, so to speak. If you look at everybody thinks Dan Campbell's always biting. Sometimes he's chewing.
Yep.
Sometimes he's swallowing, his food and stuff like that. The guy's not a Neanderthal. I think you brought up a great point, Neal. Dan Campbell, former tight end, but he acts like an offensive lineman. And what's the stereotype about offensive linemen? Oh, they're just dumb rocks when they're actually the
Big
smartest
uglies.
guys in the room.
And they have the best feet. Never forget that.
The best what?
Best footwork on any NFL team is the offensive lineman.
Well, I guess
You can
it
look at
has
the wide
to be.
receivers. You can look at the running backs. It's the offensive lineman. Catch an offensive lineman in one of those ladders, they body it.
Now, is that a little offensive line bias by you, or is that
No, it's true.
facts?
It's facts. You need to have good footwork to play offensive line. You have to.
You have to have elite footwork.
Yes.
Elite footwork. But yeah, so Michael Badgley, salute to you, sir, because I talk about how the playoffs shrink, and that was my takeaway. In that the moment for Jared Goff, he was flawless, and Michael Badgley was flawless. So you're in. You're absolutely in.
And here's the thing, right? How grateful are you for Jack Fox too? I mean, he just whenever he's out and he punts, it's to the 10 or inside the 10. I mean, it's just automatic, and we forget that, right? And what a weapon to have. That's why we're closer than we think. But that just all the time when he punts and they got to catch it down at the 10-yard line or whatever, that definitely has helped. So just the way that they played that game, the moment, you mentioned it, Neal, the moment wasn't too big. So do you think that this moment's Sunday, or do you know what's the mentality coming out of Allen Park right now? Right? They're excited to play Tampa. Right? They're feasting on it. Yeah, they probably, in the back of their minds knew that going into it before they watched Green Bay beat Dallas, right? Is the fact that
now they have
there.
I think they have a little more room for error against Tampa than they did against the Rams, which is kind of crazy to say.
I said it yesterday, Neal. You're going to let Baker Mayfield end your season? Not a freaking chance. And then now this little prick's out there squirting off about, we're going to do to the Lions what we did to the Eagles. Bro, this ain't the Eagles. This ain't that. You're coming into the dojo, baby. Just look across to Big Dan, staring at you. You're going to be, I don't think you're going to get through the game, Baker. And I don't wish ill will on anybody, but I think that pressure and sacks and stuff like this, and he's a little fragile right now. But bottom line, Neal, are you going to let Baker Mayfield end your season? Absolutely not.
D-Mac, there ain't no Matt Patricia over on the other sideline this time. And I was sitting there on that airplane watching that game just...
with that pencil sticking out of his ear.
Now, I was a little bitter because I wanted us to be the one to do it to him.
Yeah, me too.
But as long as it got done to him, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. So I was very, very happy about that. Chuck Brewer, our special teams were also perfect on Sunday. Great punts, long field goals. Because make no mistake, it took Goff being perfect, the special teams being perfect. Graham Glasgow was perfect, a guy that I certainly had questions about.
Great game.
Rose to the occasion.
Yep.
Now I will say this. In totality, the Lions have more room for error on Sunday than they did against the Rams. But I will say this. The offensive line has less room for error.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be great again. Because the Buccaneers, they got to Goff a lot. That game in Tampa, they threw some things at him that we hadn't seen before, and they certainly threw some things at Philadelphia that they weren't prepared to deal with. That front seven is as good as a front seven as there is in the NFL.
And you know what? Let's go. Because
100%.
Our front seven, and when I mean that, I'm talking about our tight ends. We got some of the best blocking tight ends in the game, led by Laporta. Plus our wide receivers, they love to block for each other. This is going to be a physical game, dude. That's the way it is. We have more room for error in this game, but we have to go out and execute. Right? The number one thing, Neal, I don't care what it is. You don't turn the ball over, you win. That's as easy as I can make it.
It's a simple game. Especially, again, D-Mac, I will say this. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100 more times before Friday. Everything shrinks. Everything shrinks. And if you don't it gets more simple. The game gets much more simple in the playoffs, which is kind of weird to say, isn't it? But play well and you win. And don't play well and you lose. And the environment matters. Now, look, I saw Tua catching a lot of strays and stuff like that. The environment matters. That's why the home field matters. That's why the Lions won 12 games and are the number 2 seed. And ultimately, if this thing goes to, on paper, where everybody thinks it's going to go, according to the sports books, the 49ers, I think, are minus 180 to get to the Super Bowl, which means they're pretty heavy. You know, they're an 8-9 point favorite against Green Bay. I would imagine they'll be a 4 to 5 point favorite against the Lions if it goes according to the math. And the environment's going to be hard as hell. And if this thing ends in San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, the Goff people are going to crawl out of their, from under their rock, and they're going to start popping off again. But that's the way that this game works. The environment matters in the playoffs as much as anything else.
And I'll tell you what, believe in what you want, but I had a dream last night that I was at the Super Bowl watching the Detroit Lions play, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was going off. Went crazy on the first drive, and we were singing Forward Down the Field at the Super Bowl.
And you could feel your plums tingling.
You
could feel it in your plums. Had a nice bluish hue to them. We got to get that job. A nice bluish hue to them. BMG, we got to hook that one up.
Feeling my plums.
That's a great line, by the way.
Great.
And we just keep smashing past these breaks. My apologies. I'm shot out of a cannon today. Big boy, that's right. Hey, in case you didn't notice, it's 1,000,000 degrees below zero outside right now.
So terrible.
Down home comfort foods, those are the play. Heavy. You want to get heavy with the veal parmesan, the stuffed potato pancakes. If you're going in the breakfast mode, you can do that. The lumberjack omelet, the Santa Fe garden, and don't forget the new apple pie hotcakes as well. Hey, go back for dinner time. The Southern Comfort Bowl. Why not do it? It's Big Boy, everybody. One of Newsweek's best restaurant chains of 2023. That's right here in Detroit. It's Big Boy, a Detroit icon.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Neal Ruhl here for woodwardsports.com/shop. That's right, Woodward merch. You guys tired of the same old Detroit sports wearables? You need to be in Ford Field on Sunday afternoon with the Stoke Not Scared t-shirt. It's right there. Order it today. You should be able to get it in time for the game. It's hoodie season. It's beanie season. If you stay outside too long, you'll die. That's how cold it is out there. Don't fall for it. Get your Woodward Sports hoodies and beanies and layer up, everybody. It's time to get crazy. We're going to the NFC Championship game. We are. woodwardsports.com/shop. All right, keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We push Rest in Peace Tuesday back to Wednesday because of my unforeseen travel adversity, but I made it, everybody. Don't shed a tear for me. I hunkered down in meager accommodations with meager food and got away with it, D-Mac. What?
Way to persevere, bud.
You didn't have a crab and Swiss omelet? I did.
What?
Crab and Swiss omelet.
Look at Benny's face.
That sounds so good.
It was
Never even heard of that.
and some avocado on the side.
Oh man, that sounds good. I've never even heard of crab.
Hey,
and omelet.
don't tell him about the sushi spread. Like, don't when the sushi.
I
don't
won't.
you don't.
I could eat so much sushi.
You know those boats when you walk right when every table has the boat.
I'll tell you what.
Everything's spinning.
I talked with the food spread at the Bullseye Tailgate. Amazing. They had the supui balls with like honey mustard. Ate a couple of those. They had this like chili cheese tater tots, delicious. This barbecue chicken with mashed potatoes. And then when I was walking out, I was like stumbling to my Uber. I see they have these King's Hawaiian grilled cheeses. Like the King's Hawaiian rolls, but it's a grilled cheese.
What kind of animal thought of that?
I grabbed like 4 of them on the way out and walked to the Uber. They were so good. Yeah, it was amazing.
King's Hawaii. How come we never thought of this?
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Like a King's Hawaiian roll, but a grilled cheese. It was delicious.
No, I get the dynamics.
Yeah.
How come nobody ever thought? How is this not mainstream?
I don't know. It was
We're
really
idiots.
Good, though.
I think I'm
really
going stopping and getting some
D-Mac, every single one of us is an
Hawaiian
idiot.
buns and some cheese and just.
They were so good.
We're idiots. All of you out there are idiots. Nobody thought of a King's Hawaiian roll grilled cheese. Wow. Just wow. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there. And we'll talk about the ticket stuff later on. Just as a joke, I went Jeff Olson, Neal sleeping on the Bucs. Did I sound like I was sleeping on the Bucs?
No.
Front sevens change games, bro.
And they blitzed the hell out of Jalen Hurts.
They blitzed the hell out of the Lions.
Yeah.
Never forget that, man. No, Neal is not sleeping on the Bucs. And they're here. If you're here, you're good.
I'm here.
If you're here, you're good.
Ooh, top 5 cheeses.
That's it.
Yeah,
And for the record,
Carry on for a second. I got to add that one to the
said that
list.
drugs will eat anything, so will stoners.
Yep, that's true. One time I was so high I went home and I had a cheeseburger left over, but we didn't have any buns, so I put it on a blueberry bagel.
Oh, that's money. That's just next level.
That was good stuff.
All right.
And combining taste.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. DNC ENT, if Green Bay wins, you paying $2,000 to go to the NFC Championship. How much is too much? And that I went and looked, and that is the get-in price. We've exceeded Taylor Swift territory. Think about that for a minute. People were paying off their mortgages with Taylor Swift tickets. Think about it. What's the number? What would you pay, Spenny? I wouldn't pay $2,000. I'm out. I'm sorry.
For hosting an NFC Championship game, yeah, I mean I can't pay $2,000 if I wanted to, but I would if I had the money, if I could go for it, it would probably be $1,000 plus.
$2,000. I think I would do the. I've heard Mike Valenti say this before. Just take that and buy the most incredible television on the market. I think that's what I would do for real.
Well, here's the veteran. I was thinking about this when you're talking about tickets, right? So either way, right, if you sold your first round tickets and thinking that they get here and win that game to take the second round, or you went to the first one and a lot more people want to manipulate the second one, I'd rather, I don't know, I'm not that big for the live events. It's too many people. I like, the live stream, but I like the TV idea.
I've come to learn too, it's not being at the game. And my soul was crushed that I didn't get to watch the game with my buddy Terminal Dennis.
Yeah. Oh, how was he after? Were you in contact with him?
Oh, 100%. We FaceTimed immediately. We were texting throughout the game.
Was he in tears?
Yes.
Yeah.
This man,
along with thousands and hundreds of thousands of the rest of us.
This man had a Lions lucha mask that he was wearing. All right? He's a grown man, a business owner in the community. One of the very best at what he does. Professionally. He had a Lions lucha mask on.
And didn't take it off the whole game.
A Lions lucha mask on. Rey Mysterio style.
The only better thing is if he had the two drink head with the straws coming down through the mouth.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll get into the ticket discussion coming up. But it's just... The whole thing was incredible. I've come to find that it's not for some people it's being at the game. And there were tons of stories. I reposted a story of the guy that kind of became the face of it all. The guy that was in the crowd crying.
Aaron. His name was Aaron. I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah. Come to find out, we found out some of his story. I guess him and his dad had season tickets at the Silverdome for his whole childhood. His dad was an iron worker that helped build Ford Field, and I guess his dad got in a car accident and died, and they buried him in his Lions jacket. That's, like my buddy Dennis with the lucha man. There are, there are people like that. It means that much to them.
This person exemplifies probably so many hundreds of thousands of stories that could have gone on. I just go to you. Where you could relate that. I know your dad's still here and stuff like this, but being, the worker on the line and stuff, it's the same analogy where you can empathize with Aaron and stuff like that.
100%.
I think that we all empathize with each other, right? Because we have that friend, or we have that loved one, or that we've missed, or whatever. That was always the thing when when I think back about the championships and stuff like this, is all the people that we've lost since we've won. So
and I've come to learn that it's not necessary. I used to be big on being there all the time, and it's not about, maybe because I'm older now, I don't know, but it's more about who you're with and stuff like that. And by the way, too, just kind of a public shout out to you, D-Mac. Speaking of that, Thursday I got to see Connor McJesus, and I took my dad, and you took some time and talked to my dad, and it was funny, my dad was talking about, Olympia and all that kind of stuff. It took him, he told, I never heard this story before.
Yeah.
He told me about going to a game with his dad when he was 9 at Olympia.
Yeah, we were relating because I was like, well, I was there when I was 5. Behind the Olympia and Old Tiger Stadium. You might get sat behind a pole. You might have to lean a little bit left or right.
And I looked around at you guys going, man, you guys are old.
Yeah. And then didn't you, because we were up in the gondola and I had stuff to do and stuff, but didn't you say Zetterberg came in or?
Yeah, Lidstrom was up there.
Lidstrom was there, all the guys.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. And Mickey Redmond came walking by because that's where the TV booths are and everything like that. And it was something for me too that I got to do because I do this, right? Like that's what I do. I do television and radio and all that kind of stuff. It's just your work environment. It's the office.
You know what I love though, and I could tell, right? When you opened your fandom up on the road for the Lions, right, to whatever, were that fan? Because you were being a fan that night too.
Yeah, I was.
Watching your guy live or whatever. It's cool to be able to see somebody that has to be on point and be business like all the time to be able to bounce back and forth.
It was certainly a lot of fun. So thank you for that. And I was.
It's their time. Their window's open and stuff like this, and they fight a lot of the same things that we do. They might be a little bit more star player talented, but they need goaltending.
Absolutely.
And right now they're getting it, just like we are.
Steven Seibert, Neal dropping names today like he's shopping for a third furnace. I'm not dropping names. These people are my friends, everybody. Come on now. We got to go to the Swiss insurance, Benny?
Just keep talking for a second. VMix...
all right, yeah.
VMix died on me.
No doubt. Yeah, they say we got some. They can still hear though, right?
I don't know.
Oh, well, all right. We'll still keep chopping it up. No, but D-Mac, that's what I wanted was I wanted that goal to stand because that's why I came. I came to see Connor McDavid do that, and he did that. And it's rare that happens where you get what you want.
Right?
We should be good now.
Except is that more the norm now? But is it?
But is it? I don't know.
Are we getting what we want?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little different.
Maybe that is a little different. And Tammy Chin says, yeah, everybody can still hear, so we're still chopping up. We're good now, so we're back up. No, but just wrapping that up real quick before we do go to the break. It was my first time seeing him play live, D-Mac. And I always talked about on TV how when he steps onto the ice, you can feel everything changes. You can feel that in the building.
You can see sort of like the opposite, like the Red Wings or whatever.
Everything
more
changes.
On their heels, or just like,
you're like, it's wild, man. It is absolutely wild. Like Swiss Insurance, it's wild how good they are.
Absolutely wild throughout this whole football season. Congratulations to the University of Michigan Wolverines, national champions. Detroit Lions, first playoff win in 31 years. Well, let's talk insurance. Now's the time of year to get your insurance done, whether it's home or auto. Go to our boy Mark at Swiss Insurance. Give Mark a call today, 248-800-4177, or go online, SwissINS.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations. Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
we can officially say rest in peace to the same old Lions. More RIP coming up in just a little bit. But guess what else can rest in peace? That same old, tired rock, paper, scissors game. Jack Labrador has changed the game, everybody. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, you'll never go back. Guys, it's 100 degrees below zero. You're not going outside and playing around. Try out a new card game, everybody. Get the family involved. It's cheap. Go to jacklabrador.gg. Get your game today. Oh, yes, friends. Second hour of the show. Big D Energy. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty. Of course, we have Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter. Don't forget about the podcast. Somebody go leave a review on the podcast right now. 5-star review, if you would be so kind. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast. Go ahead and fire away. You can rewind, fast forward. If you missed the show, feel free to hook it up. Certainly, you can download the episode as well if you're maybe traveling or something, you don't have internet access. Let it rock, everybody. Let it rock. So pulling up on the second hour of the show, it is time for Rest in Peace. Can I please go first this week?
You can.
Because you know where I'm going with this. Here we go! Here we go! What was that, by the way?
That's so annoying.
Hey, Dallas Cowboys. Cool story again. Rest in peace to the whole Dallas Cowboys thing that everybody does. And Spenny, you fell for it.
I did.
You fell for it, Spenny. And I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed.
They got me.
Because you knew better.
Yeah.
We all knew better. You all knew better. It was the Dallas Cowboys to a T. It was Rain Prescott. His mama call him Rain. I'ma call him Rain. Guess what? They're gone, and everyone was surprised. Why? You knew this was coming, and it comes when you least expect it. When you least expect it. The Green Bay Packers destroyed them and destroyed their franchise.
It was bad.
And no one should have been surprised. I certainly wasn't surprised. This is what you get with Rain Prescott every single time. And the faces may change. It may be Zeke Elliott one year, but there's one constant, and it's Rain Prescott. And the bottom line is still this, and no one wants to admit this. The Dallas Cowboys haven't been good since Boys to Men were singing Cooley High Harmony. That is a fact, everybody. They are a product of the 90s. They're Texas in the summer. It's in the 90s. They're dead as a franchise. Dead. Neal, how can you say that? They're dead. Because they've been dead. For 2 decades they've been dead. And every year I keep telling about how they're back. And no, Neal, this is the year. No, the Dallas Cowboys were on brand. Rain Prescott was on brand. Jerry Jones talking to the media was on brand. So guys, guess what? The Dallas Cowboys, they're dead. But in particular, get the casket ready and dig the hole for Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, you are professionally dead as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned. And there's only one man that can take this job for them to have a chance.
Double B.
B squared.
B
Bill
squared,
Belichick
hit the B squared.
is their only hope.
The
And Bill
Belichick.
Belichick needs to do to Jerry Jones
Hit the B squared.
what everybody else does to Jerry Jones. Bill Belichick's got to walk in there and say, Jerry,
hit the B squared.
I'll save your franchise, but it's going to cost you $25 million a year. I need 4 years, $100 million guaranteed. But he may not want to do it. But he's their only hope.
Give me the sound again, Mikey. Bury him because I'm going next because this is almost a double funeral, so to speak. But there's 2 plots beside each other. Give him the dead signal, the music. Because you know what else is dead, Neal? And to your point, right? SOL. I don't ever want to hear SOL again. I'm going to throw SOL into the Dallas Cowboys burial spot. Why? Because guess what else you've also lost? Sorry, Dallas, you're no longer America's team. You know where America's team resides? Ford Field.
Boom.
SOL. Done with Dallas. And we're taking America's team with us. Because if you don't think the Detroit Lions are the 2023-24 America's team with what Dallas has gone. They're on their way. That's my America's team. SOL, get in the grave, along with all those Cowboys. Whatever you do, who cares? Because you know what now? Detroit Lions, you're America's team, whether you like it or not. And you know what? That is just facts.
We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit.
Absolutely. So SOL, you deserve to be down there with the Dallas Cowboys.
I love it.
So I'm putting SOL there because America's team is right down the road about 20 minutes.
And by the way, Dallas Cowboys, even the refs couldn't save you that day.
Yeah.
Rain Prescott. The refs couldn't save you. That's
you know
how
what the
bad you
beauty
were.
is, Neal? And then I got to look on some comments of Cowboys fans complaining about the refs.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah, they saved them 40 points. Yeah, no doubt.
I want to go next.
Yeah.
All right, BMG. Oh, BMG with the conviction with a lovely Detroit City FC
Neal, I have
crew
to
neck.
for your return.
Thank you.
But I am rest in peacing the Ottawa Senators. I tapped in last night at the bottom of the NHL.
Eat
should
shit,
I say,
Senators.
Yes, eat shit. 30 points on the season. They're totally dog shit. And I watched last night. I tapped in on ESPN Plus. They were playing Colorado. Just the total body language of that team. It's over. They are going to abandon ship. They're going to ship all their players. I can already tell. They're going to break it down. Rest in peace to the Ottawa Senators.
And BMG, how about, by the way, it looks like DeBrincat's a pretty important player, right? Because you take him off there and put him on the Red Wings. What's the one constant in that?
The Red Wings are winning, and they are not.
That's all I'm saying, man.
It's true.
You know what? You're welcome, Red Wings fans. I spoke that into existence. I spoke it into existence.
Can I go back to the NFC East?
Yeah, you absolutely. You can go wherever you want. I know where you're going, Big Daddy.
RIP. I'm gonna go RIP to Nick Sirianni. RIP to Nick Sirianni. You pretentious douchebag. You are the biggest douchebag in football. That video of him when the camera comes around, he's like. It's just the most, I want the most punchable face in the NFL. Nick Sirianni, you're not a good coach. You are carried by your coordinators. Now that both of them are gone, you can't do shit. Your team completely collapsed in the second half. You lost to the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. You had a great team, but you don't know how to coach. Nick Sirianni, you shouldn't be a head coach. You suck. RIP.
And by the way,
I hate Nick Sirianni. He's such a douche.
You know what? I would say on merit that he shouldn't be buried and he shouldn't be fired by the Eagles organization. He went and got Matt Patricia.
Yes.
He went and got him. Like he was like, all these guys out here. Who should I get? Oh, I know. I'll get Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is the king. He's the new king. I used to think Lane Kiffin was the king of this.
Lane Kiffin's doing well now.
But yeah, I like Lane Kiffin. And I've always liked Lane Kiffin.
He looks like Daniel Tosh.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's the man.
He is.
By the way, he used to be the king of falling up. Matt Patricia is the world intergalactic president of falling up. How? How is he employed? How does he continue to be employed? How does he continue to get new jobs?
No idea.
What's the
Joe
connection?
Lombardi.
Yeah, like I don't understand it, man. I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
What are we doing there? So I'm with you. Put him in the casket and get him out of here. And Nick Sirianni, they should fire Nick Sirianni and say you hired Matt Patricia, and that would be my release.
Nick Sirianni's a douche, man. He's such a douchebag.
The Philadelphia Eagles have moved on from head coach Nick Sirianni. Once he hired Matt Patricia, we suspected it was over. That's it.
It was over.
And then put the address of the team on the letterhead up there, and that's it. Oh, by the way, DMAC, I don't know if you guys caught this. Did you see the Arizona Wildcats have hired San Jose State Spartans football coach Brent Brennan?
No way,
for real?
Coach.
Yeah.
We got him. Is that it? We upgraded him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that a better
it's
job?
5-year deal. Yeah, 5-year deal.
Did he get some? He
got the bag.
He got the bag.
Yeah.
Attaboy, coach.
That's got to be. Yeah, that's got to be.
Hey, where do we need shirts from now?
Arizona.
Well,
Arizona State.
We still ride with the Mountain West here,
Well, no, I
everybody.
know,
We still
but
ride.
Of course, that's where you go. But I mean, I follow Coach around, so I need a. Is it Arizona State?
Just
Arizona.
Or Arizona Wildcats?
Wildcats.
I love it. Oh, and
Wildcats.
let me caveat this because Gio Boss informed me. The Lions aren't just America's team, they're Canada's team too, and we're not talking BC Lions. So there you go. North America's team.
Shout out to Coach Brent Brennan. That's awesome.
Got a bag.
Yeah.
Good for him. He
Can't
deserves
hate on
it.
that.
You can't listen, but I'm just drawing like comes on our show with the bag man, goes out, gets the bag.
Undefeated in 2024, every game I've called.
Coach, if you need a sideline
quality control guy?
Quality control, administer a vibe, whatever you want, let me know. I'm there for you.
The administer a vibe, Spencer Raxter. I like it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see too. I think San Jose State's leadership has shown that they've got the track record. They'll be just fine.
Good for Coach Brennan.
Yeah.
Great dude, great coach. He deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike G, I'm a Utah State guy. Well, Mike G, you suck. All right.
You suck, Mike G. Go Wildcats.
Hey, but Mountain West. Stand up to the Mountain West. All right, when we come back, it's top 5 time, everybody. What do we got on the agenda?
Top 5 numbers.
The top 5 numbers. Let me tell you about the top 1 gym. Planet Fitness. That's right. I was just there a little bit ago. As a matter of fact, getting it in. Shoulder day for you. All right. I did lift today. It was triceps and biceps with a 4-mile run. Just a light little 4-miler. Right around the time you start sweating, you're done. But hey, you can do however you want it at Planet Fitness because they have all the cardio equipment, all the weight equipment, the 30-minute circuit, all of it. Post-workout, do yourself a favor. Get a black card, $24.99 a month, everybody. Unlimited use of all the amenities, the tanning, the massage chairs. You can bring a guest. You basically own Planet Fitness for under $25 a month. It's a no-lose proposition. Go to planetfitness.com, join there. There's over 2,400 of them in the world and over 50 in Metro Detroit alone. Pull in the parking lot of one of them. Join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Big Mike Gentry as well.
Hey, let me say it for the facts because, Brandon, you're the biggest bitch in this chat. Carry on.
God,
all right.
It's true.
They're just making facts because he's calling everybody else whiny girls. And who says whiny girls? You're a bitch, Brandon. We're enjoying it. No one gives a shit. Your Philly Eagles can't make it anywhere. Right? So go home and whatever like that. You and Matt Patricia, like I said, you're the Matt Patricia of the chat. We understand that. I got my finger. Guys, don't worry. My finger is as close to blocking him every day as it is if it gets out of hand. So either play nice. We're done with the bullshit.
Robert
Bro, and you know what? You're not going to take anybody's... we're riding it high here. So you can go fuck yourself as far as I'm concerned. I'll let you play every day that I'm around until I get pissed off. And then you're gone because we don't have time for this shit. This is America's team.
Fuck yeah.
You know what? You thought you were America's team. Congratulations. Go back to the drawing board. Go hire another Patricia.
Robert Colosia said he was 0-3 on his NFL picks last
Interesting.
weekend. So, expert handicapper has not had a good season so far.
Man, you know what's funny?
Hey, give me the RIP. Put cats in the box. There we go.
Box.
There you go.
Jeff Olson.
Just behave.
Jeff Olson. Only winners here, cats. Sit this one out.
Fair.
So there is that one out there as well. All right, guys, it's time for our top 5 list. We're going to get back to the football, everybody. Don't worry. We're going to get back to the football, I promise you. But why is it a top 5, Spencer?
Because it's half as boring as a top 10.
There you go.
And that's the morning show does.
The morning Woodward top 10, where it just goes on and on and on. We clocked it at 34 minutes one time. We don't do that. Top 5 numbers, everybody.
Yeah.
Can I go first?
Yeah, Spenny, shot out of a cannon, man.
Shot out of a cannon. All right, top 5 numbers. My top 5, and once again, scrolling through my Facebook to get pictures of me in high school, but it's all right. Top 5 numbers. All right. The first number on my board, I had to do it. It's my guy. He's my brother. Have him up there. Number 1. I got number 25.
Yeah.
Number 25, Darren McCarty, the man, the myth, the legend. Had to put him up there. Number 2.
Okay, on brand.
Number 2. I got number 69.
On brand.
Number 69. Come on. What are you talking about? Number 69. Number 3. I got 420.
On brand.
Come on. What do you mean? These are synonymous. It's great numbers. At number 4, I got number 13 because Pavel Datsyuk. He was probably my favorite athlete in Detroit when I was growing up. Loved watching him. The Magic Man, number 13 at number 4. And then at number 5, I have 8,008,135 because when you type it into a calculator, it looks like boobies.
Perhaps.
Hold on. Let me turn on. Yeah, boobies.
That's good.
Yep.
Perhaps the most on-brand top 5 in the history of top 5.
Obviously, you know what? Flattery will get you everywhere in life to 25. I would have thought, though, 68 would have been your favorite number because then you could owe one.
Yeah.
I owe you one. 68 and I owe you one.
Spenny, very on brand.
I do what I can.
It was everything the people thought it would be.
I do what I can.
And I think that you are the early leader in the clubhouse for the top 5 list this week. And you didn't even do anything.
No.
All you did was be you.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a goat.
That was very good.
Who's going next?
Who's
I'll
up
go
next?
Go ahead, Mikey.
I don't care. I don't care.
All right. BMG, what's your top 5 numbers?
All right, number 1. Number 1.
Look at that pick.
The Jimmy King jersey?
Was that right out of the walk-on tryouts right there? You just waiting on the sideline?
That's got to be a spring break PCB.
It was.
Daytona? Where is that? Cancun?
No,
Is that a
Fort
neck
Lauderdale.
tattoo?
Fort Lauderdale.
But
yeah.
number 16, the day my son was born, obviously. Number 9 was the number I wore when I played sports. 24-3 for Allen Iverson and Kobe, legendary numbers. And then number 5, I'm referring to my friend D-Mac for this one. Eyes are playing 1919.
There we go.
Not just 119.
There's a couple on
Let's
there.
go.
Spenny's 420 I missed. The Eyes are playing 1919 is classic.
Spencer's
I'll
is
go
gold,
next.
Well, hey, I one more reaction to Michael Gentry's number there. D-Mac, I'm surprised to see number 1. At number 1, he had John, or at number 16. I'm surprised to see John Shabbat getting so much love.
Shabbat Shaboom. You remember the Shabbat Shaboom? Shabbat
Yeah, I
Shaboom.
liked it.
That was in the late 80s. Heat of the Dead Wings era.
Yeah, the real ones know. The hockey fans who say we don't talk hockey enough, there you go, a John Shabbat reset.
Ooh.
There will not be another mention of John Shabbat in Detroit sports talk for a year.
At the very least.
Yep.
You want me to go?
Yep.
Go ahead, D-Mac.
All right. Now, we start at 1.
Whatever you want to do.
Obviously, we're branded. We got the 25. It means number 2. See, there's the branding right there. We're branded on a lot of these.
There
the
it is.
1s and the 11s. Now, the 1, April 1st. I don't know if you know this, but April Fool's Day, which technically is really January 1st.
Yep.
It's the first day of the old cycle or whatever. So being an Aries and red being my power color and, the most powerful Aries and stuff like this. So that's where the 11 comes in. The power of 1. 1's a very powerful number in my cycle, right? So 1's the 11s. The 11's more to my wife Cheryl and stuff. 4, obviously. Hey, flannel, what does this stand for? You. Anyways, 4 cups. And then, greatest of all time, the number you can't wear.
The great
except for Wayne Gretzky.
Only one
Any
man.
Canadian kid growing up, that number 99, that just privy. He to me, like, Not only the player he was, but to know him personally, and he is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. So 99's got to be up there.
D-Mac,
I sacrificed 420 for 99. What's that tell you?
It's fair.
I have a jersey that I haven't worn in a long time. I have a Wayne Gretzky Campbell Conference All-Star Gretzky jersey, the orange one with the stars on it and everything like that.
Black and orange, like the black base orange, or orange
base black.
Orange base black.
It's incredible.
Hey, small caveat before you go. So I played junior hockey with Brent's youngest brother, or Wayne's youngest brother, Brent. Right. That's the reason that I won Player of the Year last year and stuff. But that summer before our last year, went to the house, Walter Gretzky's house, the house that Wayne grew up in, they all grew up in and stuff, in the basement, right? It's a freaking Hockey Hall of Fame museum, all the trophies, all the jerseys. I got a picture with the Tretiak jersey on back in the day. I was just, all those jerseys you're talking about were down there. I got pictures in all these different jerseys.
I loved his restaurant that he had in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
We would always go to that when we went to Toronto. And like he had all the youth, like the pictures of the youth teams and the youth trophies, and they had like the stats leaders of the youth league. And like in second place they would be some guy, like they played some kid, they played a 30-game schedule or whatever, and the kid would have like 101 points he was phenomenal. And then Gretzky would have like 500 points in like 30 games.
They banned him from minor hockey.
Yeah, like that's how it's absurd. It's absurd. Like
they don't call him a great one for nothing.
Like they overdid it when they made him. Like there was no need for all that. Like it's incredible. I'm hanging on to that Gretzky jersey. I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to get its autograph someday. So I know someday I'll be in the room with them and I'll get it signed for the basement. So that would be
absolutely. It's probably one of those days when you're having bourbon with Steve and Wayne walks in.
Yeah,
hey,
probably.
Steve, hey Wayne.
Yeah, hey, do me a favor, Wayne, real quick.
Wayne,
Can you sign this
Wayne,
for me? Yeah, just come over here and sign this for me, and then I want to talk about some stuff with you. Danny G, forgot my headphones now, so I'm that guy walking in public blasting YouTube. This is the only time, Danny G, that's okay, because I hate that shit.
Penis!
Keep doing it.
I hate that shit.
Balls! Big hairy balls!
I hate that when people do it, unless you're watching Big D Energy. If you're watching Big D Energy, then it's okay.
What do you got?
All right, my list. Here we go. My top 5 numbers. Oh, the 10K day right there. That was grim at Oakland University. All those hills. All right, I will go from the backwards up. Number 5, I have the number 36 for my guy Benny Blades, number 1.
Shout out.
But for number 2, Pear Jews.
For the
hockey people again.
Look at you dropping all the PERDJOOS.
Yeah, there you go. You remember Pear Jews.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a little insider one. That's a little insider one right there. At number 4, number 11. That's right. For Isaiah Thomas. He's the GOAT, everybody.
Yep.
The absolute GOAT. He's the biggest competitor I've ever seen in my life, and he turned the entire fortunes of a franchise. One man, 6'3", 6'2" point guard, changed the entire complexion of a franchise in a city. He's forever my GOAT. I love him. I love Isaiah Thomas. We still got to get him on the show. I got to push Terry and get him on the show to do that. Number 3, 100. Because it's my favorite bill in the American monetary system. The $100 bill.
The largest bill in the American. Would that mean if you were Canadian, because they have $1,000 bill, which is red, that would be your
if I were in
favorite?
Canada, it would be. But I do enjoy the number 100, especially on my money. Especially now with the big faces on there, and it's such a pleasing shade of gray or green.
Does it make it easy when you look in the bag and there's all those faces looking at you that you know which one shouldn't, those 20s shouldn't be there? You're like, Jackson, what are you doing?
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Get out of here. This is Ben's bag.
Real quick, DCP1 says 1.8 is my favorite number. That was my GPA. So there's that one.
So you went to state?
Yeah, you got through it, right?
Hey, that's fair.
The Nightman 100 for the bag. Classic Neal. Yes.
I did 3.5 at state.
Number 2, 13.2, the half marathon.
Is that
number.
the face of the 13.2
no,
on the top?
that was a 10K, but it was a 10K up in the hills of Oakland, which was no joke.
Yeah.
Absolutely no
Both
joke.
ways uphill.
It felt like it. It felt like it. I would say this. That 10K at Oakland was tougher to finish than the half marathon was in Detroit.
Damn.
No BS, man. It was absolutely incredible. Yes. The hills were so steep.
That from your experience, the elevation change or the terrain you'd rather go longer distance, flatter.
No doubt.
Okay.
No question, easily. And number 1, the number 25. Not because of this man to the left. I'm sorry to report, D-Mac.
Allegedly. We'll let you.
Not
stay
for
with
that,
your story,
D-Mac.
but it's all right.
No, you're my friend and been my friend for a long time, and I'm happy that the number 25 is what you wore. But the number 25 is my favorite number because it is my all-time number of my all-time favorite baseball player that is a non-Detroit athlete, and that is Barry Bonds. The greatest baseball player to ever play baseball. And the fact that he's in the Hall of Fame is laughable. He's 500 home runs, 500 steals. Nobody else in the history of baseball is 300 home runs, 300 steals, except for his dad. That's the only other one. It's comical.
It's only in that bloodline.
I wanted to put
only in that bloodline.
I wanted to put 7 on there for Melo instead of Boobies, but I went with Boobies instead.
Well, I mean, hey, that's what it is. So
mention 7.
Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Writers, get over yourself. All right, the chat poll is up there right now. Who had the best top 5 numbers list? I have Spenny and still as a minus 400 favorite with the people right now as far as that goes.
We'll do a recap of all of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. There is Spenny's right there in front of you. Boobies down at the bottom. You knew Spenny's list. You don't even need to see it. Move on to the next. 69, 420, all of it. D-Mac's top 5 numbers, of course, number 25. A lot of the karma numbers and things like that I don't understand, but he does. And, of course, Wayne Gretzky on his list also. BMG chilling in his Jimmy King jersey right there. Yeah. Yzerplan 1919. Lots of basketball numbers on there. Also, Allen Iverson. And, of course, his son's numbers and all that also. Gordie Howe. Kind of a little bit. Yeah. And then my top 5 numbers, as you see, 36, shout out Benny Blades, the Punisher, Pear Jews as well, and the 100 for the $100 bill, but of course Barry Bonds at the top. So the numbers are there. Those are the list. Vote in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Get your votes out there. And, I said Spenny's a minus 400 favorite, but guess who is a minus 1,000 favorite when it comes to the pet food game?
Oh, Premier Pet Supply, obviously, because when it comes to your pet, don't settle. Make sure you go to Premier Pet Supply. Premier Pet Supply is Michigan's best pet store, hands down. All the same conveniences as the big box and retailers, with one major difference: family and locally owned and operated for 30-plus years. They have 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you find the best case for your pet. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and to trust. On Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want. LesStanford.com.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, and of course we have Big Mike Gentry. as well. Top 5 list was hooked up and done. So lots of fun with that. If you guys have top 5 list ideas, then go ahead and fire those off.
So far, we've got on the back burner, we've got elements in the periodic table.
Yes.
Top 5 old guys. Top 5 cheeses.
Top 5 stripper names.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Top. We did the Woodward Slappy, so that one's done.
Yep.
Top 5 colors.
Colors is good.
Top 5 villains.
Villains is good.
And top 5 cheeses, as you said.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. If you have a good, one.
I like top 5 villains or old people. Both good.
So next week.
Also, per Fox 2 Detroit, this just came out. Amazon to stream Detroit Tigers and Red Wings and Pistons games after the bankruptcy deal.
Okay, so Amazon is stepping in. I know that was in the talk.
So Amazon will carry all Detroit sports then?
Yep.
So you need the Amazon app? Is it be Prime? Or
my guess would be yes, that's how they would do it.
Probably, yeah.
And my guess would be you're going to have to pay. It would be like Bally's. You'll have to pay some kind of fee, monthly fee.
At least it'll be hooked up to your Prime account or your Amazon. You know what I mean? A little bit easier than going somewhere else.
Ooh, right. Jeff Olson was a good one.
At least you won't have to
Top
use
5
the
anime
sports
fights.
I felt like that. I felt like that internet meme right there, where I forget which song it is, but they're like they get you intrigued, and you're like, oh, and you're like, that's what I felt right there.
It's fair.
No, it will not be top 5 anime
Sub
fights.
to Spymorak Speaks. Top 5 anime fights. Might have to do that. New video.
Yeah. Let me know. I'm having a little bit of internet issues right now, so let me know if there's a good top 5 list.
Top 5 hair. Top 5 smells. Top 5 smells is good.
You know what? I do like that. I didn't like it instantly, but I think I do like it.
Fresh cut grass.
Oh, it's got to be universal number 1.
Some good chronic.
That could go a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
Steak. Barbecue in the summer.
Barbecue's a good one.
A good bourbon.
Yeah.
Cookies in the oven.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
electric.
Man, when I worked in the cafe, East Lansing, I worked in Snyder Phillips, and they had this place called Bliss. It was like the corner where you make all the cookies and all the ice cream.
Neal, here's a great question. Sorry to interrupt, boys, but back to your TV deal. Does the ESPN deal with the NHL? Will there have to be, like, as far as, because they have a deal with them.
Right, for the power play.
The local TVs, there's going to have to be some communication between those brands, right?
It would depend. I don't know what the setup is for the deal with the NHL with ESPN, but if there are multiple years attached to it, then that comes with the understanding that the out-of-market broadcasts go national. So unless Amazon wants to pay a premium to get out of the contract and just have it all there.
So money.
Money. I mean, yeah. Guys, and look, I know everybody is going to start with the whole, everybody's going to go right in, right, and say, I'm not paying top 5 hats.
That's a good one. We need Terry for that one.
We do. Yeah, we do. I know everybody's going to flip out and say, well, I gotta pay for it, and we got to pay extra for it and stuff. Guys, if that's still upsetting you at this point, then I can't help you anymore. Because this is where we are.
That's
the
how
norm.
it works.
Cable's done.
Yep.
The norm is streaming.
Cable's
so
done
you're gonna
for
have
sure.
to figure out. So the whole thing is you hope that the companies that you like or that you watch, that they get together, right? That's the best thing, and they can bundle it up and save you money. But till then, you're gonna watch what you're gonna watch.
Here's a good one: top 5 chat members.
Damn, Donovan DeLong just sent me an Instagram. King's Hawaiian rolls, ham, cheese, little bit of onion, mustard, butter over the top, bake 350 till they get crispy. You're welcome. Shout out Donovan DeLong. That sounds good.
That would be pretty cool.
Might have to do that this weekend.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the. We'll see how that all plays out. I got to talk to my people about that and see what the little insider activity is on that. But there is something I did want to get to about the Lions, and the chat people were talking about. Someone brought it up in the chat and said the Lions line has moved to 6.5. So there's activity on the Lions, like betting activity, which I kind of figured they would. And here's why. I don't know if you guys caught this about the TV viewership numbers of the Detroit Lions. We talked about a little bit earlier in the show. Spenny, you have the numbers, right?
Yes, I do.
The Detroit Lions game.
Support my Detroit Lions is the new
America's team. The Detroit Lions, who have been one of the highest rated watch teams in the NFL all season long. The Lions-Rams wildcard game, and this comes from Twitter, on Sunday night on NBC and Peacock, averaged 36 million viewers across all platforms, with 32 million viewers on NBC stations, ranking as TV's most watched primetime show since the Super Bowl, according to Nielsen. The second most watched event in America on television.
That's crazy.
Was Lions-Rams on Sunday night. And D-Mac, you know how, and again,
a great game too.
And it delivered. It delivered everything. And as we talked about, I was out of town. I was watching in Washington, D.C. You can tell this when you go to other cities. Like when games are on, and D.C.'s like we stayed in Georgetown, where all the nice hotels are and all that stuff. Like it's kind of a bougie.
Well, I would
place.
expect in D.C. just from my experience in '98 when we won and the building was 3/4 Red Wing fans, and because of the government and different, there's transplants, right?
Yeah.
So
and there were some.
It doesn't
there were some.
shock me the fact, but you're telling me it's more of the norm than seeing one or two jerseys.
But here's where it was: just regular people were locked in, like all across the place we were at. They were locked in. You don't see that usually. You know what I'm saying? You've been a lot of places. I go a lot of places. Like you go in and the games are on. Even playoffs sometimes, the games are on. In D.C., everyone in that bar, and it was packed, was locked TF in. They were, man. And that goes to show you, America was locked in. And that goes to explain the line movement. Lions moving up to +6.5. They are America's team, Spenny. And with America's team, you have the people that show up to the sports book windows and they just blind fire. Go Lions! Yeah, I'm watching it. Go Lions! You just fire your money on it. That's the way it works. We always talk about that with the Cowboys and with Michigan and with the Yankees. There's a tax to bet on those teams. There's a tax to bet on Michigan. There's a tax to bet on the Yankees. We see it. There's a tax to bet on the. In what world should the Cowboys have ever been a 7.5 point favorite over Green Bay? That was a 4.5, 5 point game at most. But you got to pay the tax to bet on the Cowboys,
especially at home.
Yep.
Where they dominated until they didn't.
So there you have it, guys. This is America's team, man. The Detroit Lions. Gather yourselves, everybody. Our Detroit Lions are America's team now.
It's facts.
It's facts.
Here's the one thing where I ask you, Neal, is that you go around the country and more so like on the East Coast or whatever, but more people, if you asked in that bar or walked around who's the coach of the Detroit Lions, I think more people know Dan Campbell than don't know Dan Campbell. Even if you're just a mild football fan, and that's across the country, and that lets you know also.
Yes. No, you're absolutely correct, and that's the power too of the HBO thing and the Hard Knocks and winning the division, and you got fans crying in the stands and everything like that, man. Like this is real, folks. There's a vibe, isn't there? Like isn't there? And it's breaking right. Like is it tougher to play Tampa at home or go to Dallas? 8 times out of 10.
No, but
it's
you
tougher.
You
get
all
breaks.
you can do is take care of what you can take care of and let the chips fall where they may. It's the same thing as that we haven't talked about it, but I give Green Bay a better shot than most people to go in there and upset San Francisco. If a couple things don't go right, maybe a couple injuries or stuff like this. But the way that Green Bay's playing, I think they have more of a chance than what I'm hearing people thinking San Fran's just going to walk them.
Well, they have the formula, right? Like they can run the football. Their problem's going to be keeping Jordan Love clean. That's going to be a huge, because those are some dogs on that defensive line
all
over there.
The Falcons just put out a tweet, which is weird. Like, I don't see teams doing this, but they put out a tweet with a graphic that says, I got to make sure it's the Real Falcons account. It's the Real Falcons account. It says, we have interviewed Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh for our head coaching opening.
Yeah, that actually came out yesterday, as a matter of fact.
That's such a weird tweet to put
Everybody's
out.
doing it now. The Chargers did it.
That is weird.
I agree with you. It's hella weird, but
What, announcing that you've
interviewed somebody.
Who you've interviewed, yeah.
You know what that is? And I give teams credit for this. This is Neal, the PR guy that works for the team. Is you can go to your fans after this is over
exactly what it is.
And say, we talked to everybody.
We had them in.
Yeah.
We spent the money.
Yeah.
We put the flight in there.
We talked to everybody.
Bought 'em lunch.
And here's an extra kicker, an extra layer of that. Again, this is PR Neal talking right here. I can sell that at my press conference with whoever we end up hiring. So we talked to everybody.
That's so weird.
We talked to Jim Harbaugh. Joe Schmo here, that's our guy. Of all the candidates that were out there, this is our guy. You see, did I get you worked up right there? And it was a fictional coach. That's how it works.
That's the way it is. I also heard that Belichick interview with Atlanta, but it was 20 minutes.
They did the same thing, which is so weird. They put out a graphic saying, we have interviewed Bill Belichick. That's weird.
Because I think they're going to go off the board on somebody with a hire. I think it's going to be somebody that fans would be like, who the TF is, who the fuck is this guy,
Who the fuck is that guy?
I think that's what they're going to do. It's going to be somebody you don't see coming. And the fans are going to be pissed, and then that's why you lay the groundwork. So the Tigers do this all the time when they would offer contracts to people that they didn't want to sign.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer being one.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, we offered him 6 years, $150 million. What do you want from us, man?
Yep.
What are we supposed to do about it? All right, guys, Hamlin Pub. I know a lot of you were probably watching that Lions game at Hamlin Pub. 7 Metro Detroit locations. There's a Hamlin Pub nearby where you are. Go to hamlinpubs.com. Find out where all the locations are. They got the game day specials, every NFL game, all the Michigan sports, all of it. Hamlin, we have all our fantasy drafts there. I love kicking it at Hamlin Pub. TVs everywhere. Guys, it is the environment you want to be in. Go to hamlinpubs.com. It's Hamlin Pub, where everyone's a regular.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Neal Ruhl here for Feldman Automotive Group. They've crafted their car buying experience. It's 1996. It's called the Feldman Advantage, and it's the very best in the game. There's tons of Feldman Automotive dealerships all around the Metro Detroit area, so you can find the one that works best for you. Anchored by Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Of course, it is Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. We'll be out there broadcasting. You guys know how we do it. We'll be out there next Monday, as a matter of fact, right?
Yep.
Talking Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. Come on in and buy a Corvette, everybody. Let's do it. See you at Feldman Automotive Dealership's flagship dealership, Feldman Chevrolet in Novi on Monday. It is Feldman Chevrolet. Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy coming down the stretch. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Spencer Raxter, and of course, Big Mike Gentry as well. And, we just been chopping it up. I kind of gave you my thoughts as I didn't get a chance to react to the Lions game. But we do top 5 clouds.
Cumulonimbus.
People pleaser. Top 5 Trevor Lawrence plays. He's got to get 5 first. Once he gets to 5, then we can have that list. He's another one. Tired of hearing about it. When do you got to go do something? I do want to just take a minute and we'll go deeper into this, I would guess, on Friday. But, D-Mac, as you survey the scene of the rest of the playoffs, obviously the Texans and the Ravens will play on Saturday afternoon, and then at the nighttime will be the 49ers and the Packers, of course the Lions, and then followed up by the Bills and the Chiefs. Anything stick out at you for the rest
Bills,
of the NFL
Chiefs,
playoffs?
right? Well, obviously, no. I'd be paying attention. You know, you got to think that as well as the Texans have played this year and whatever, Lamar at home, you know, being rested and stuff like that, you got to think Baltimore's gonna win that game, being the best team in the league. You're gonna keep an eye on Green Bay, obviously, but to me, it's Patrick Mahomes having to travel to Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's Josh Allen. Can he get over this hump? Is it this time? And I think it is. So I'll be intrigued on that game. Hopefully, sitting here enjoying a win, being able to watch that game. But it'll be interesting to see because, you know, the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, the truth is he's done it in the playoffs from home. So now to be able to get it done, it's just an opportunity for him to add to his legacy and an opportunity for Josh Allen to start building his to what is expected for him to be, right?
Yeah.
This is how he pulls himself. And after this year, I think he's pulled himself ahead of Justin Herbert or whatever about we're waiting to see. But this has got to be his coming out party.
Here on Mark M. in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Spenny, this one made me chuckle. Top 5 compass directions.
That's a good one.
I'm putting it on the list.
Southeast is up there for me. I like Max Mayer said top 5 crayons based on taste.
Top
Compass
5
directions is a really good one.
I mean, south, right? You gotta go where it's warm.
Go south. People love the West. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah, no doubt. The West
Coast.
Coast. You got to go west to get to the West Coast.
Yeah.
that one is pretty good.
The Pacific Southeast is a very nice location.
Yeah. Northwest, you know, a lot of rain, lots of green, tons of trees, all of it.
That's so funny. Compass, that's a good one.
It's deep, man.
Deep.
It's absolutely deep. You know what's funny, D-Mac, about what you talked about with the Bills and the Chiefs, by the way? How big was Kadarius Toney's mistake in that game against the Bills? As you look back on, didn't he line up in the neutral zone or whatever?
Yeah.
Like they were going to win the game.
Yeah.
They did that little flea flicker.
Yeah.
How big was that now?
It was pretty big.
Absolutely. For the home field. It's the same thing as when you mentioned before, like Miami stumbled because Miami has no choice playing in that division but to win outright to get home field because they can't. The worst thing for Miami is everything's outdoors and everything's on the road, do whatever. So it's so imperative that their season is done if they don't get that home field.
Yep, they need the track, man.
Right, because they don't have the indoor. Like, they're not going somewhere indoors. It's not about going on the road. It's going on the road in the elements.
Yeah.
Especially when those elements.
It's the same thing we don't want our quarterback to have to go do.
Nobody wants to go do that. Nobody wants to go play in that. Nobody.
But I think that some teams are built better for it, right? Than other ones. Like when you have KC versus Miami, it's like Miami's gonna freeze up at some point. Like it's gonna the weather. Like there was no doubt in that game that even Kansas City and the question marks playing at home, that's literally 10 points. Because you got to adjust, and when you listen to Tua, like the Miami, if we're specifically talking about Miami, they're mind jacked to begin with, right? When they do interviews before, Tua's going, well, you know, it's cold, and I don't know, I have to be, you know, wrapped up, you know, don't know about that, don't like it, stuff like you're already mind jacked yourself.
What do you got, Spenny?
A guy like Josh Allen at your quarterback, you don't mind playing in situations like that. 6'5", 250-pound battering ram at quarterback, like. You don't mind playing in the cold.
That's why you take the Buffalo quarterback out of Montana.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's why.
It's like, no, he's built for this. Now, Neal, I agree with you. Right? Show us. This is your time. Just as much it was for Jared Goff here in Detroit to take this team to the next level. This is The
and he will.
Bills are further.
And I, honest to God, believe that he will. And Catspot here says, Neal was wrong about Tua. He's a fraud who can't beat good teams. And that was true against Buffalo. Cats, he led the league in passing.
He
and
can't
guess what?
play on the. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that can't play in the cold one fucking game and stuff like this. That you have to look at how the schedule sets up.
Yeah, well, and the bottom line to that, too, is it wasn't what cost them was losing that Buffalo game. Could they have used both their edge rushers, both their Pro Bowl level edge rushers? Yes, they could have, but they weren't healthy.
Yep.
And that's the way that it goes. And the line is so fine. The line is so fine, Catspot.
And their secondary is banged up.
They're a mess right now.
Yeah.
They're absolutely a mess. And you still got to go do it, and they couldn't do it. And in no form or fashion were they ever going to win that football game. But here's how fine the line is. If Miami wins that game on Sunday night, Buffalo's out of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're out of the playoffs. And the line is so fine that now they get the 2 seed and they're going to win. They're going to beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
They are. Because guess what? I know that the Chiefs just played in 5 below 0 and beat Miami and stuff like that. But now they got to go into the environment. And it's a little colder and it's a little more snowy when you're not at home. It just is,
And
D-Mac.
Buffalo, Baltimore. Buffalo right now, to me, is the team that can beat. I want to see Baltimore, Buffalo. Right, because it's almost like if it plays out and the Lions, as we're on the Booner path, go to the Super Bowl. I think I want to play Buffalo instead of Baltimore. That would be it. I just have a feeling that it might be Josh Allen's time. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. I like Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't hate him. He just turns the ball over too much.
Turns the ball over a lot for sure.
But look at how they've adjusted in the last 5, 6, and allow him to use his leg. You said it the other day. When you got a quarterback that can rip off 54-yarders,
yeah,
right? That's not named Lamar, and do it and run through guys.
If it's not the Lions winning the Super Bowl, I want it to be Buffalo or Houston, honestly. I like Josh Allen, and Houston's my team of destiny this year. So.
They are. And Catspot's got to go granular. Buffalo was in the playoffs because Jacksonville lost. I'm talking about how fine the line was. That going into the final weekend, they could have been out. They could have been out of the playoffs. Like, think about that, man.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have the home field in this game, and they're going to beat the Chiefs because of it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It's absolutely wild, man. Unlike getting your haircut at Lady Jane's,
no,
that is not wild.
Come
That's
to Lady
perfect.
Jane's Haircut for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win. The trip of your life, of your dreams, of everything, because it's all expenses paid. And it's a trip to the NCAA 2024 basketball tourney, no expense spared. You and 5 of your best buds. What do you got to do? Get to Lady Jane's today. Open 7 days a week, walk in any time. Make sure you register. It's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy. Final segment of the show. Neal Ruhl and Darren McCarty. And, of course, we have Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter. Shout out to everybody, all the vets that are listening right now in the Dingle VA down in Detroit. They're locked in, so shout out to you guys.
My boys downtown. I love it.
Yeah, there you go, D-Mac. Obviously.
Shout out to Edric Shelby.
Yeah, absolutely. The WoodwardSports.com chat thread also. Edric Shelby, I was a Rams fan before they traded Goff to Detroit. I hated the move, so I followed Goff. Wasn't sure if I'd become a Lions fan or just keep an eye on his progress. Woodward does a great job endearing the team to the fans. Lions all day. Well, Edric, appreciate you tapping in to the network. Yeah, shout out to you, man. I mean, here's the deal with me. I'm not trying to, quote, endear the teams to the fans or anything like that. I just tell you what I see, man. And I stay consistent with it. I don't do stuff for clicks. You won't hear me say one thing one day, and then when the narrative changes, I come back the next day trying to play the other side. I tell you what I think. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just tell you what I'm being honest with you guys. I'm always going to be honest.
Mike G's right, too. Shout out to Thomas Shelby. Shout out to Tommy Folk and Shelby.
Yeah, there you go. So there's that as well. Red Wings Panthers tonight. Huh?
Hell yeah.
BMG told me that it got moved to the big game on TNT.
Yeah, we got Biz and Gretz.
Yeah, I think so.
Biz and Gretz or Ace and Hank or whoever they got up on the desk. Maybe Colby.
I love the Biz and Gretzky dynamic when they're up there together, man. They're great.
It's just, you know why it is? Like with hockey guys or whatever, what you see, I think the transparency of how it, just because the desk and the microphone get there, you take those away, it's the same conversation.
Same thing,
Like there's no gimmick. And that's the dynamics with the role play fourth line tough guy, the top star, and he picks on him and he tries to give it back, and then he's got no
it's so
right.
Good.
You get some funny interactions, but that's the dichotomy of the dressing room.
So yeah, by the way, the Red Wings playing well, right? 6-3-1 in their last 10. BMG.
Oh yeah.
The Panthers are 8-1-1 in their last 10.
Damn.
Cooking. They've almost run down the Bruins.
Hey, listen, all you sucking egg. Because you know what the fact is, wasn't this West Coast road trip when I said this next 10 games would be huge, and everybody said, well, they're starting 3 games on the road, and then you got to come home, play Edmonton, and then LA, and then you got to go to Florida. And then it's not easy. No, you set yourself up, but what have you been doing? Took 11 out of 12 points to go in tonight. Friggin' Alex Lyon take this team on his back. Maybe it's he played for them last year, right? Got them to the finals and stuff like this. So maybe we'll get a little bit of a revenge. These guys are cooking right now. They're without Patrick Kane for the next couple of days. It doesn't get easier, Neal. It won't get easier. But you know what? They put themselves in the conversation. 11 out of 12 points, and look at where they're at. Just still in the wild card. But again, you know who they're not? In the body bag, Ottawa, where Mikey put them. Right? Remember Ottawa, Buffalo? It was like, oh, watch out for it. No. The sleeper team, the team that you have to stay pace and catch that is playing above their heads a little bit is Philly.
Yep.
So Phillies, the jerseys, depending on injuries and stuff like that. So you're saying you got a shot, but the way that they're playing now, right? Is it not, Mikey? A lot better, more of a 60-minute. Have I not seen more of a 60-minute game?
Oh,
I've seen some 55-minute games.
Yeah, and
which means there's only 5 minutes of a shit show.
Yep.
Exactly.
So they're slowly but surely, but it doesn't get any easier.
Playing like a monster.
And hoof-hearted. You could turn on TNT and put Ken Cal and Paul Woods on the radio, like a lot of us do. You don't have to listen to the broadcast.
Scores! Love Ken Cal. Shout out to Let's Go Red Wings Smarty, though. He makes a good point. TNT, very good with their sports coverage, NBA and NHL.
Oh, yeah.
Inside
Absolutely.
the NBA is one of the best television programs out there. The NHL Central, or whatever they call it, fantastic as well. They do a great job putting those together.
No, they do, and
Sports.
it hurts everybody because they have to pay extra for the package to get TNT. But it is good. Certified supply chain professional. Neal never ate cream of wheat like he said he would. Stop the cap.
He didn't have
won
to.
the bet.
He won the bet. He didn't have to.
I said I would if I lost, but I don't lose.
It's true.
53-21 says that I don't lose. Documented.
That is true.
Not just on a website with a picture of a guy that trained as a lawyer. All right, guys. I think we did all the damage we can do today. Be back at it tomorrow.
You won't.
I will not be out. I'm emceeing the press conference for the American Basketball Hall of Fame induction tomorrow. So that's a big honor. It'll be a lot of fun. But I'll be back at it Friday for sure. So for D-Mac, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy. Well, see you later.
That backdrop. Hey, that back.